Spooky Bedroom Fright. Chapter 1. Last June, the state-owned enterprise I worked for went bankrupt and was reorganized. Because there was no establishment, we contract workers had to be laid off, and we didn't even get the compensation in the end. I always thought that state-owned enterprises were iron rice bowls, but I was dumbfounded when I heard the news. Because I didn't have much savings, and now I lost my job, I went to interview several companies in a few days. Perhaps because I am young. At first they have a good impression of me, but when it comes to expertise, the people in charge of recruitment have frowned, obviously not very satisfied. I can't blame them, because in fact I had little work experience. I used to work in a muddle, but private companies are different. They do not keep idle people. After walking out of the last company, I squatted on the side of the road. A sense of powerlessness and frustration rushed through my body. 27 years old is the best age for a man. The students who graduated together at this age are about to have their second child, but I spend all day hanging around. I do not even have a girlfriend, but also developed a bad problem. I feel quite regretful. I do not know what to do next. I took out my phone and looked through the latest job postings. Most of the jobs are not ideal. Most of them are some insurance sales or real estate agents and other positions. To be honest, I was quite confused and even thought about doing delivery service to transition this time. The thought just popped into my head, but then a message suddenly appeared in my mailbox. Invite you to interview. Address Xing'an District, Lakeside Road, number 6, Hacheng Health School. Contact Principal Wang. Phone. I was actually a little surprised to see the message that moment. In my opinion, the health school is at least a formal unit, should have a future than the insurance company. So, I sent a message asking the other party to recruit what position, but after a long time I did not receive a reply. Considering that I can't even pay my rent, I'm more or less anxious. After hesitating for a while, I decided to go and see for myself. Then I took a cab and told the driver to go to the Crane City School of Health. The address of that school is in the suburbs, next to a reservoir in the mountains, about 10 minutes away. After inquiring about the school for a while, I finally found the Principal Wang in the office building. He looks 40 years old, quite greasy, middle-aged, a little bald. I said I was invited to the interview. He smiled and let me sit down, and also poured me a glass of water and asked me what my name was. I said my name is Gu Yang, 27 this year, graduated with a bachelor's degree. The principal waved his hand. Education does not matter. This is the case. Our school has 3 student apartments. One of the female dormitory is lack of a dormitory administrator. Are you interested? Swear to God, I wanted to give him a direct kick at that time. I came all the way here. I thought it was to recruit counselors or assistant principal or something like that, but you let me be a hostess. I might as well fucking sell insurance. Perhaps sensing that I was a little upset, Principal Wang hurriedly came up. Please listen to me first to finish the details. We have a relatively high salary. Working hours of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. You can sleep in the middle of the night. The monthly salary is $10,000. You can accept. I was a bit baffled when he finished, because in our small city, $10,000 a month is already a very high income. After working at my last company for 4 years, my salary was barely around $6,000. A hostess of the health school, $5,000. Seeing that I didn't speak for quite a while, Principal Wang added, the school cafeteria is free for the staff, and during the winter and summer holiday, the normal salary is paid to you. What do you think? Damn, I think this is no different from picking up money on the ground. At that time I almost agreed, but on second thought still felt a little strange. I asked President Wang, the dormitory manager of the female dormitory is usually a woman, isn't it? I am a male. Do you think it is suitable? Principal Wang lit a cigarette. Indeed, it is not very suitable, but we are a health school. Those young girls are more chaotic, always thinking about leading their boyfriends back to the dormitory at night. If the female guards the door, I am worried that she cannot stop them. I think his statement is more or less outrageous, but I did not ask again, just nodded, because he gave really too much. Principal Wang laughed. Then okay, you go back to pack up and start working officially tonight. Okay. I froze for a moment. So soon? He knocked on the table. It's just a coincidence that the man in the first apartment just resigned, and you happened to cover his shift. Is there a problem? To be honest, Principal Wang seemed quite enthusiastic, but I always felt something was wrong. The application process was too fast and easy. Besides, the salary was so good. Why did the last doorkeeper resign? But after thinking about it, I nodded my head and said no problem to Principal Wang. Then Principal Wang smiled and said that's fine. 7 p.m., don't forget it. I nodded my head. After coming out of the principal's office, I first went home to take a shower and change my clothes. thinking that I had to leave a good impression on the students on my first day of work. At 7 o'clock, I arrived at apartment 1 on time, and Principal Wang was already waiting for me at the door. He took me into the janitor's room and handed me a cigarette. The person who works with you on the day shift is a madam, surnamed Wang. I let her go first. By the way, Gu, there are a few things I have to tell you in advance. I hurriedly nodded. First, our school theoretically 10 lights out, but some students come back later. You can let them in. But before 12 p.m. you must lock the door. No one is allowed to enter or leave, remember.